Hello, 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 and welcome to Express Yourself Healing Through Art. This week, a little bit different camera setup. Last week, I use a program called Streamlabs OBS and to broadcast, and I'm gonna have to just pop out this chat for a second. Give me just a second. And because I can't watch myself on YouTube. As usual, pardon any background noise. My son is a little frustrated because of online learning and everything else. So he's running wild through the house. But he's fed, he's taken care of. I'm not ignoring him. So anyway, this week we are making a faux leather journal. It is, and next week, once the first layer that we put on dries, next week we're going to be adding a dragon's eye and some embellishments to the stuff, and we'll put the final binding on next week. This week we're just going to cover the thing, cover the notebook, and what you need is a composition notebook. I got this at Dollar Tree, however, some of your discount stores, like if you have a Fred Meyer or Kmart or whatever your local discount store, Walmart. I know Walmart puts them on sale this time of year. You can get like 4 for $1, things like that. So we're going to need one of those. We're going to need... batteries. They're in the drawer. You're going to need some paper bags. Mine are from, not a sponsor, Grocery Outlet, but you're going to need some paper bags. We have tons of these nowadays because hi, can you hear me now? I guess you could hear me before. Never mind. Yeah, you could hear me before. Okay. We have tons of these days because you can't take your own bags, and we don't use plastic bags anymore. Come here. Excuse me 1 second. I gotta get my son some batteries. Wait, come here. I'm gonna give you the batteries. Bring me the controller. Sorry about this, folks. This is my life. I hope everybody's having a good day today. Lots of good things to watch on YouTube and everything else. This is going to come out looking like a faux leather cover. And then, like I said, next week we're going to put a dragon's eye on it. And okay, go put the batteries away. Thank you. All right, so what I did to get the paper bag ready was I opened it up and I folded the part that's folded over the bottom. Basically, we're just going to cut the bottom off, but to do that the easy way, I own scissors. There they are. I just folded the bottom part down and I used my craft scissors, not my sewing scissors. These are craft scissors. Just for getting dull cutting paper bags. So I cut the bottom off like that. And then I went in and cut it along these lines. We're not going to use the bottom because there's too many separate pieces and glue and all sorts of stuff. And we really want just the clean parts of the bag. So we cut the bottom out. And then if you look inside, you'll find the seam. There's the seam. And I cut along the seam on both sides to get the whole seam out of there. Okay, so you're going to cut that whole strip with where it's glued together. Cut that out, throw that away. We're going to gently, if your paper sacks have these handles, we're going to gently remove these. Okay, like this. Just gently remove them. Don't worry about leaving, taking part of the little bag because this part is going to be down. Hi, thank you, Liesel. I had to redo my whole setup, and yeah, it's been crazy. This part's going to be against the notebook, and then take your scissors one last time and cut about 1 inch to 1.5 inches down across the top to get any dips or jagged parts. Take that, pitch it, you're done. What you're left with is a big sheet of this brown paper. Now, you can buy rolls of this paper and do the same thing. Dollar Tree has, I think it's called postage paper or packet parcel paper or something like that. You can buy rolls. You can use butcher paper. You can use any kind of paper that doesn't have a sealant or a gloss on it. You want the dry paper, okay? Just plain old cheap paper. Paper bags work. After I got it to that stage, I cut it into squares. The measurements are not important. The bigger the squares, the easier they are to work with. So you can see how large. Let me get something to compare this with. Here's a pencil, a brand new pencil, regular size. I'm going to say that's probably about 3 inches. I cut them 3 inches by 4 inches, but you can cut them any size you want. Get a good number of those in all different shapes. Doesn't matter if they have lines already in them. That doesn't matter where the folds were. Doesn't matter, because you're going to take them, each one, and I've been sitting here doing this. You're going to sit and wad these up. Just like this. Wad it up in a little ball, and then you're going to unfold it. Just like that. And if it's not wrinkly enough, wad it up again. You can roll it in your hands. You can do whatever you want. Wad it up, make it nice and crinkly, so it comes out looking like, kind of like leaves, actually. Okay? And you're going to do that with all your papers. We're going to do it as we go, because I've only got a small stack here set up. The next thing is, this is my glue mixture. If you were with me a couple months ago, I talked about my glue mixture. It's 60 to 70% glue. And this is the glue that I use. This is from Michael's. It's called Clear Glue, and it's about $9 for a gallon of it. But you can use the Elmer School Glue, you can use Mod Podge, you can use whatever kind of glue you like. But this is 70% this and 30% water. And then I shook it up really well and then let it sit to get all the bubbles out of it. You can use straight Mod Podge, you can use straight glue. I use the glue mixed with a little bit of water, just because I like it a little thinner than most. And I'm going to just pour some of that in this little mason jar I've got here to work with. And I have a little jar of water too. A little jar of water here. And this next step, this is, you get these in a 2-pack at Dollar Tree. This is a cutting board. It's got some paint on it because I use it as a background for painting. I use it for all sorts of things, but this right here is the best use for it. I'm going to take this plastic cutting board and just slip it right inside under the front cover, between the front cover and the pages of my notebook. That's going to protect the notebook from what we're going to do to it. Okay? So I'm going to get my brush a little damp and squeeze it out. Then I'm going to go in here in the glue, and I'm going to start at one corner. I'm just going to glue, put a little glue, and it doesn't matter if you go over the edge because you've got this cutting board here. Same with your paper. We're going to trim this extra paper off or fold it over. Okay, so take and push that down, one piece of paper into that wrinkled glue. And then, since I don't want it to look like I just stacked them, I'm going to take and put a little glue over here, right here, and I'll put this little one right here. And I'm just using the end of my brush to push it down into the glue. Use your fingers. Your fingers are going to get gluey. And I don't recommend wearing rubber gloves or, you know, gloves to do this to protect your hand. Just understand your hands are going to get sticky. And then let's put some glue over this. And we're going to stick another one down. This one, let's stick it this way. I'm using that glue. Now that I've got some glue underneath, I can go back over and use the glue to push that down on there. We're going to continue to do this. Okay, we're just going to glue this paper down, and we can chat while we do it. It doesn't matter if you go over this edge either. I would try not to, but you're going to have to in some points. But we're going to cover up this binding. We're going to make a really interesting binding to go over that. Need some more glue underneath it. It's not sticking down. So there we go. Any extra glue, just spread it out, because you're going to end up putting glue all over your notebook anyway. Okay, so let's put one over here. Whoops, now here we go. See, this one has some writing. I don't know if you can see that. It's got some lettering right there. We go. Some lettering right there. So I'm going to make sure the lettering goes down onto the notebook. Just like this. And you can't really see it on the screen. Let me see if I can. Which one is that? That one. Let's see if we can do this so you can get a better look. I think I can do this. There we go. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. Can you see how the wrinkles are staying? Let me pull it back. See how it's wrinkling up? We want the wrinkles. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. And the straight edges are good because we're gonna go back and do an effect that makes it look like we have riveted this stuff together. We're gonna put little dots of hot glue on the corners of the ones on top, and we're going to go back in with a pen and add what looks like some stitching. And then, so let me zoom back out now. Oops, dripping glue. That's all right. I hope you got to see that. I got to see it. I hope you did. See, there's some more writing, so we'll put the writing down. And glue. And glue and glue and glue. Our weather here is turning to autumn. It's been between 45 and 65 our Fahrenheit on our temperatures, and we've gotten into our fall cycle of rain, where it's very foggy in the morning and through the night, and then we'll have a shower, and then it'll get beautiful, and then we'll be overcast, and then we'll have some drizzle, and it just never makes up its mind on what it's gonna do. So, if you're new to my channel, I am Pro Manhattan. I do therapeutic art projects every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Look back through my channel. There's all sorts of arts and crafts, and we do it on a budget, usually with stuff you already have sitting around your house anyway, or you can pick up stuff at the Dollar Tree. Because I live on a budget, a very tight budget. I don't have money for crafts. I was raised by my Depression era grandparents. So I am very thrifty. Like I said, it can hang over the edge of the book. We're going to go back and trim that off. We'll trim it off or fold it over, and we are going to be lining the inside too. Just not today. Our show here and the other show I do, live show on YouTube at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays, 9 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesdays, are both sponsored or hosted by theliveplace.com, which you will see over there. There it is, The Live Place. www.theliveplace.com. It is your online guide to YouTube live streamers. They're all family friendly, covering topics from travel and leisure, theme parks, mental health, music, art, cooking, Legos, collecting, a lot of Disney fans, a lot of Disney people. It's all family friendly. The ones later at night sometimes can be PG, but generally it's all rated G. You're not going to get surprised with inappropriate content that you can't have playing in the background out loud. Tons of great live streamers, over 120 channels represented, 5,000 live streams a week, I think he said. I'm not sure. But theliveplace.com, it's your YouTube guide for family-friendly live streams. I've been enjoying a lot of the live streamings from the Disney parks down in Florida, but also since they can't go to Disneyland, it's not open yet, people are getting very inventive, and we did actually one live streamer, Corey Meets World, took us on a tour of the grave sites of Disney influencers, people who were very influential in forming the Disney company into what it is right now. Brown paper package style cards. Oh, that would be fun, because I know the farmhouse look is still kind of in. I haven't had a good look at what's the Christmas fad this year, but I know that brown paper bag stuff, the simple things, I have a feeling it's going to be, the simpler things are going to be what's appealing this year. And goodness knows I got paper bags, because I've, when I order Instacart for my shopping or when I go to the stores, most of them in my city, we have a plastic bag ban, so they cannot use plastic shopping bags anymore. And you can't take your own because of the illness that's going around. So you get brown paper bags. And my goodness, I had forgotten what to do with them. Used to be that's all we had was brown paper bags, and then they switched to plastic. Yeah, twine, brown paper bags with little accents, fake stamps. Yeah, that kind of thing. Envelopes would probably work well, you know. And the twine makes a great embellishment. I'm going to be doing some twine embellished things. Excuse me, I had to turn on my fan. Oh. It's like 59 degrees outside, and in my studio right now, my studio slash bedroom slash whatever, it's about 73. So, yeah. See, now this one has got part of that red seal on it. So again, I just make sure that part goes down into the glue on the page and get all the edges over. And there we go. No, have I got glue on there? That glue's kind of dried, so I get a little bit more glue. This is messy, but it's a fun craft if you like peeling glue off your fingers. Some people do. This is a craft that young kids can do. You can do it as a family thing. I know a lot of us are unintentionally, unwillingly, whatever adverb you want to put in front of that, homeschooling right now. And but also this makes a lovely gift. I know last year for my for a friend who's very much into tabletop gaming, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, I managed to find some gaming manuals that were online, that were free, that looked like Dungeons and Dragons, with all the stats and the charts and stuff like that. So I downloaded those and printed them out on my printer, and then I ripped them. Instead of cutting them into squares, I ripped them, and I made him a whole portfolio like this, but I just used the gaming manuals instead. And he loves it. He uses it, takes it to his gaming sessions with the guys. And I put a little pen holder and a couple pads of paper and a little place for his for a couple dice, and you know, that kind of thing. And the thing is, you don't have to use paper bags. You can use anything you want. If you want to use sale papers that you get in the mail, or wrapping paper, you could take a Christmas wrapping paper, or Dollar Tree wrapping paper in the theme of someone's favorite style. Like, I know they have Disney wrapping paper. They have, you know, all kinds of wrapping paper. And you could take your favorite Disney wrapping paper and do this with that. And then it just matters how you embellish it after that, you know. And so here we go. This is coming along very nicely. Once we get this all covered, I'm going to take the glue that I have left over, and I'm going to mix in, I've got 2 colors of brown acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree. This is what's coming up next, and I'll go ahead and show you that while I'm wadding up. These are 2 different shades of sort of a red brown and a brown. And the thing I like about the Dollar Tree paints is they are opaque. As most cheaper acrylic paints are, they are opaque, so it's not going to be a full coverage. It's just going to be a gloss covering. You know, it'll give it a tint, and make it look a little less like paper bags. And then next week, when it's all dry, we'll go back in with a small sponge and we'll kind of put some coloring around the edges. There's only so much you can do in an hour, and there are so many live streams on Sundays that people want to watch. So, and I know now that people are able, in other parts of the country, not in my part of the country, we're still locked down up here, but in other parts of the country, I know people are able to get out and go do things after not being able to for 6 months. So there's, people aren't home. But I know if you are watching the replay, I know I have a lot of my replay squad who watches this when they have time during the week, and that's fine too. I appreciate my replay watchers. Make sure you leave me a comment. Excuse me. Make sure you leave me a comment down below. Replay squad, let me know that you watched. How'd you like the project? Are you thinking about trying the project? I do live streams not to have people watch. I do live streams more for my replay watchers. But to be completely honest, I do live streams because I dislike video editing. I can do it, and I'm not bad at it. It's just not something I enjoy. And currently, with everything that's going on, I don't have the time or the mental energy to sit down and spend a couple hours editing a video. So I just do them live. And because that's me, and I feel like that's authentic. And so here I am. And sometimes I run out of things to talk about while I'm working. It can feel intimidating sometimes to just sit and talk to a camera, even if you had, 500 people in the chat. I'm glad. In a way, I'm glad that I don't have 500 people in my chat, because I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. I wouldn't be able to do this and keep up with my chat. So I much prefer the comments that way. But yeah, see how this is coming along? Let's put some more down here in the corner. And if you're wondering how this is a Halloween journal, you'll see next week we're going to actually put an eye, a dragon's eye, on the center of it and make it look more like a spell book, a spooky Halloween themed, witchy kind of journal. Because journaling's important. We all should have a journal. Even if you just write one sentence a day, it rained today. Because someday, years from now, it'll be nice to sit down and look through the journal, especially this year, when there's so much and so little going on all at the same time. Some people keep gratitude journals so they don't get lost in all the bad stuff that's going on, so they can have a little moment and a memory, write down something happy that happened today, something unexpected that happened, something that you're thankful for. I try to keep 5 thankful things in front of my face. That's what keeps me going in the times that we're in. Because, I was talking to my therapist, and my therapist even said, man, your life's really sucky right now. Yeah. And the thing that makes it sucky, and this is what she said, the thing that makes it sucky is the things that are happening to you, you don't have any control over. And that's true. There's nothing anybody can do for me aside from the people who are making the decisions about when school goes back, when my son can go back to getting an appropriate education, to when I can go back to working with my crafting business and my music business and stuff like that. But what keeps me getting out of bed is the fact that I'm lucky I have my survivor income, so my bills get paid. I've got a good roof over my head, my son's head. My son has nice things. I own my own vehicle. We always have food. I don't have to ask anybody for anything, you know. I'm very self-sufficient. It's very lonely, but that's all right. I've always joked that I was a bit of an introvert. That's another reason why live streaming is good for me. Yep, exactly. This is the only way for me, so this moment too shall pass. I wrote a song about it, one of my songs, which I am going to be putting out an album of my original music after I get done with these 2 Christmas albums. I'll put out my original music, probably for my birthday, which is in January. But my song Paper Boats. When I can't make the pieces fit and there's nothing to do but sit, I go down to the water with a big stack of paper, sit on the bank in my overcoat, and make paper boats. And see what floats. Oh. All right, we're almost done with the front of this. And then it'll be time to do a little wash with the glue and I think I'm going to do the red first, and then I'll go back and tone it down with the brown. I think that's what I'm going to do, because yeah, we'll use the red first and give it kind of more of a leathery glow. There we go. Oh, here's an interesting thing to share. If you rip your paper, lay it back over as carefully as you can and just put some more glue on top of it. All right, I got one more little corner down here, so we will, one last piece, and this is just the front. I'm also going to flip it over and do it on the back side. I'll do that later this week so that it will all be dry for you next Sunday night when we put the dragon's eye, which I'll show you how I do dragon's eyes too. It's kind of cool. I'll show you how I paint them and how I make them, and then we will put it on the book. And like I said, you can go over this black edge, you can go over the edges of the paper, because we're going to fold them under as best we can or trim them off, either way. All right, I have some little paper cups here, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to do a little bit of glue, just enough to cover the bottom of this little paper cup. And then this is a Dollar Tree paint, and it's kind of a reddish brown, and got, there we go. And I'm going to mix that up with my brush. And the glue mixture just kind of makes it a little thinner, because it really is more like a wash than a paint. We're going to scrape off as much as we can and just go back over. Because we just kind of want to tint it. We don't really want to paint it red. We want all those little lines and imperfections to shine through. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm glad I did this first. And there's still enough glue and moisture in the paper that it's moving around pretty easily. I'm not sure how well you can see that. I'm not sure how the colors are coming out, but you could even use a little sponge to do this. In fact, I'll show you another little trick we're going to do, just to make sure that it's putting my brush in the water there and get all that stuff out of it. We're going to take one of our extra little squares of paper. I'm going to wad it up. I'm going to pull it out and just kind of make a little that. I'm going to go back. Just kind of sponge that stuff around. You can hear how squishy it is. See how squishy that is? Alright. Got another paper cup here. Gonna put just a little few drops of the glue mixture. And then we're gonna do this one. That in there for now. I'm just going to get a little bit of brown, just a plunk. So there. Alright, got my brush in the water, and since my fingers are already covered with glue, I'm just going to use my fingers to wring out my brush a little bit. Mix up this dark brown. Ooh, that's something that would be fun. Maybe we should try some tea dyeing. During the Christmas holidays, we'll do some tea dyed paper and use that in some stuff. We're gonna make our own wrapping paper this year. We're gonna have some fun when it gets to Christmas. And we'll start the Christmas stuff right after Halloween, since everybody's already got all their Christmas stuff out. Anyway, I have some really neat stuff I'm going to dig out. I've got some videos about the ornaments that I've made in the past. We're going to make some more ornaments. I've given them as gifts. I've hung them on my own tree. I've got a special story that I'm going to share the crafts that go with the story. And the story is called The Walnut Angel. And it's a story of making paper boats. It's a story of making something beautiful out of nothing. Doing anything with nothing. There we go. All right. We've put our coats on there. All right. And there we go. There is the first layer. Now, I'm going to carefully peel this up from, because remember I stuck it down to that. Carefully peel this up and fold these over to go ahead and get my crease going on these. I don't know that you can see what I'm doing, but I'll show you. Let me see if I can turn this. I'm leaving that plastic sheet inside, but I'm just giving these a little fold while they're wet so that they kind of get into that kind of shape. Like I said, I'm leaving the plastic in there because I want to protect that first page of the notebook. There we go. Fold them over while they're wet so they kind of get a crease going. We're going to trim them off. There we go. It's up a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is go back with my brush. I'm wringing it out, cleaning all the paint out of it. It started to bubble a little bit, so I'm going to go back and smooth down those bubbles. Wrinkles are okay too. Whoop, this little piece right here is just giving me fits. It does not want to stay, but that's all right. There we go. It might look like a mess to you now, but it's gonna look good when we get the eye put on there. So that's what I got for you this week. We're gonna start this project like I've done in the past. This is gonna be a multiple week project. It's gonna take us through this week and next week, and then we'll be on to starting Christmas things for November. I'm gonna get a little glue off my fingers here so I can click the mouse in a minute. I thank you all for joining me today, whether you've joined me in the live or you're watching the replay. Look around my channel, check out some of my other videos. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That lets YouTube know to spread my content out a little more and show other people who might be interested in this sort of thing. Links to my music, my Etsy shop, and my merchandise, as well as my social media, is available on www.pearlmanhattan.com, right below my face here. Also, my Twitter and my Instagram are on the screen there. Thanks for joining me. Peace and blessings to you, and upon all you love, and all who love you. Find your passion, hang on to it, do not let it go. We're going to make it through this. Everything ends. If we didn't have endings, we wouldn't have new beginnings, and I believe in new beginnings. Take care of each other, take care of yourself, and I'll see you Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, and we'll be doing some music, working on my Christmas albums. Thanks for being here. Have a great day.